What is up, guys? Welcome back. It is July 12th. I'm Kevin Crates. This is the channel where we go over a bit of crypto news and 5 charts every day. Today we'll be looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, SNX, BNB, and EOS. And as always, guys, if you're just here for specific chart, timestamps are down in the description below. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, turn that bell on to get notifications for all daily uploads. The market is looking a little red today, guys. Bitcoin trading around 33,000. Ethereum just hanging on to 2,000. If we come down here, though, we can see that EOS is up around 9% this week. We will be diving into its chart later in the video. FTX token is up around close to 20% this week. And FTX is an exchange that has quite a lot going for it, and we'll be diving much deeper into that in a future video. There is not much else in the market outside of synthetics, which we've been following all week, which is having an amazing week, up 30%. Decentraland, we talked about a little bit yesterday in terms of Axie Infinity. Some of these NFT plays, Engine, getting a little bit of a sympathy pump from this Axie Infinity pump, in my opinion. But most things flow. Another NFT play up 73%. So in terms of what has been, Harmony One is also up 25%. That's interesting. But mostly it's been NFT plays and DeFi plays kind of getting these pumps in the market while most things are still getting dragged down by Bitcoin. Jumping over to some quick headlines here. The top 15 crypto exchanges register 51% decline in trading volume, and there are quite a few articles about this. There's this one here. Crypto trading volume fell 43% in June following China's crackdown on the sector. The article goes on to say the highest daily volume in June was down 42.3% from the equivalent peak in May. The article also goes on to talk about how Binance has remained the top exchange by volume, even though it's fallen around 56%. If we come over here to this article on CNBC from a few days ago, Britain's crackdown on Binance boosts the cryptocurrency exchange's rivals. The article goes on to talk about how cryptocurrency exchanges such as Bitstamp, Gemini, Kraken have all had a growth in new users in the UK. It also goes on to say how Binance's woes have not been limited to the UK. On Tuesday, Binance said it had temporarily suspended Euro bank deposits. It also spoke about how regulators in Canada, Japan, and Thailand have all issued warnings to the company about it operating without authorization. Binance CEO was quoted saying, "Compliance is a journey, especially in new sectors like crypto," adding Binance is hiring more compliance staff and localizing operations to better meet its regulatory obligations. And in my opinion, guys, this stuff really won't affect Binance too much. Binance has become so much more than just a cryptocurrency exchange at this point. Between the Binance Smart Chain and everything in the crypto space that Binance has come to own, Binance is such a dominant player. These things are only minor setbacks for what Binance is going to become. We had this article here today. The end of the European Football Cup is bullish for the crypto markets, and this is how. Experts believe the start of the Euro Cup saw a major rerouting of money from crypto to football betting. With its end, the money can flow back into the crypto market again. I personally wouldn't put too much stock in this theory. However, it may account for some of the missing volume over the last month in the crypto markets, and it will be interesting to see if we see a spike going into the later end of July and August. We have Polygon Matic in the news. Polygon partners with community gaming to enable scalable esports tournament. Goes on to say, without any background knowledge of how wallets or smart contracts work, tournament organizers on community gaming can now seamlessly deploy their esports tournaments onto the Polygon network, allowing for instant player payments. And in my opinion, guys, this is huge for the crypto space. I've always said that NFT gaming and NFTs in general will be the front door for mass adoption into the crypto space. And there are quite a few other projects attempting to do similar things, especially getting involved in mainstream gaming. But to see a project like Matic get involved that is already so far ahead and makes transactions so simple with its low fees, this is huge, and it'll be interesting to see how this plays out and how esports in general will start to integrate into blockchains. And staying on the topic of NFTs for this last article here, Nifty's Incorporated launched a social NFT platform with Warner Brothers partnership. Goes on to say, Nifty's first announced this NFT-focused social media platform in March of this year, touting big names like Mark Cuban and Joseph Lubin as investors. The project's ultimate vision is to create a social media community for digital collectibles that supports the new art scene while boosting personal interactions. And like I was saying earlier, guys, about the front door for mass adoption into crypto being NFTs and NFT gaming, it's only a matter of time before you meet someone, look them up on their Instagram-like social media platform just to see what kind of NFTs they hold. NFTs and everything focused around NFTs, in my opinion, is going to be huge in the crypto space. And we are going to be diving much deeper into all things NFTs on this channel. So stay tuned for that, guys. Looking at Bitcoin's daily chart, there is not much new to be said. The RSI is still dancing in this up and down trend. The stochastic RSI is headed for support here, and the RSI is kind of bouncing off the uptrend here. So if we go to the 4 hour to get a bit more information, we see that the stochastic RSI is low. And if we come to the 1 hour, stochastic RSI way too low, as well as the RSI low. So that gives us a bit of information that over the next 24 hours, we should see prices push back up, but not by much since it will be capped by this downtrend. But sometime in the next few days or week, on the 16th to the 19th, we will get confirmation that we are either in this uptrend on the RSI or a downtrend, which will give us a better idea of which way price is headed. And taking a look at the Ichimoku cloud on the 4 hour chart for Bitcoin, yesterday we saw a bit of a push up in price, and I tweeted when it happened to not get bullish just yet because there is so many levels of resistance ahead. It kind of got capped out by the top of the Kumo cloud. Not to mention it would have to get really above 35.2 to get bullish. But if you zoom out here, you can see that Bitcoin has just consistently put in these lower highs. Not to mention this wick down to 28 is extremely concerning. The lagging span is down here, the baseline is here, and the conversion line is up there. It is a mostly bearish setup for Bitcoin. There is a bit of hope for a push, but most setups at the moment look rough. And as far as price targets for Bitcoin, I'm still looking around 30K unless some kind of catalyst comes into the market we don't know about. But if we come into the weekly, there is still that price. Let me just turn these all off so it's easier to see. There's still that potential for a dip down to 28K where it could have a bounce to about 37, maybe even 46. But overall, Bitcoin looks rough. And if this lagging span crosses over in the weekly with the baseline up there and the conversion line down here, this could get bearish fast. So for the short term and the midterm, my price target for Bitcoin is still around 30K. Looking at Ethereum's daily chart, there's not much to be said because it is currently doing what Bitcoin wants it to. And if you look at my notes from yesterday, it's pretty much headed to our first price target, and our second price target is actually looking more and more possible. Let's just jump over to the Ichimoku cloud to get a bit of a more clear picture. Let's jump over to the 4 hour chart and turn my notes back on from yesterday, and you can see that Ethereum is moving exactly how we talked about. It's already pretty much reached our first target of just under 2,000, which is making this target look more and more likely. If Bitcoin reaches around 30K, I would expect Ethereum to be trading around 1725. The stochastic RSI is low on the 4 hour. On the 1 hour, it is extremely low. So just like Bitcoin, we should see prices kind of consolidate and hang in the area that it's at right now, potentially start to trade around 1985. But if Bitcoin starts to reach around 30K, which is my price target, and my price target for Ethereum being around 1725 is looking more and more likely. So price target number one, it's pretty much there in 1985, but price target for Ethereum in the midterm is going to be around 1725. Taking a look at SNX's daily chart, you can see it did get above the 200 EMA yesterday, and it is running into a bit of resistance, but it does have a possibility to still push higher. Let's turn the notes on from yesterday. I still think 15 is possible in the midterm, even 18. I think some of these higher price targets here, 25 if things get real crazy, are possible. But if there is a Bitcoin crash, these lower price targets of $9 to $7 are not likely, but possible. So if we jump over to the RSI real quick as well, you can see here still in uptrend territory and looking strong. But let's just look at the Ichimoku cloud real quick. SNX on the daily Ichimoku chart does have some bullish setups going. The lagging span is attempting to cross bullish. The conversion line is where it should be, and the baseline is also down below. However, it is running into a bit of trouble with this second candle, but staying above this candle here, which is where I would want to see it stay if we're aiming for these higher prices of 15 and above. If we jump over to Sand, which went through a similar scenario, Sand, although punched right through, it did run into some trouble with some of these second candles. That doesn't necessarily mean SNX is going to punch through for sure, but I would like to see it maintain this price range. If we go to the 4 hour, I do not want to see price dip too far below 12.1, but if it does, then price targets would be a little bit lower for SNX. 11.4 would be one that I would keep an eye on, 9.5 below that. However, if 9.5 is challenged, it could always drop down to 8.5. But the setup for SNX is very bullish, and they do have a catalyst coming out July 26th, launching on optimism. So on the higher end, I would like to see it push up towards this price target of 15.7 and potentially even towards 19, which was 18 on the other chart. But at the very least, I think SNX leading up to July 26th could hit this price target minimum. But considering the state of the market, we always have to keep an eye out for some of these pullback prices. So as far as a pullback, I do not want to see it really drop below 12.1. That would not be the most bullish scenario. If it does manage to drop below $12, I would not be surprised to see at the very minimum 11.4 be hit. However, if 9.5 gets hit, there is always the possibility of a lower drop. But for the time being, SNX on the daily and on the 4 hour, these are still bullish setups. The lagging span is here. The conversion line is nice where it should be, and the baseline is down below. However, that could change at any time. So we will be keeping a very close eye on SNX. My price target for SNX is still for it to potentially push higher, but we will be keeping an eye on these pullback prices as well. Looking at BNB's daily chart, we can see a few things. This is not a chart that's down and out. It has attempted to reclaim uptrend quite a few times, but as far as the market goes, I don't think it will be able to. We can see here it's run into quite a bit of resistance around 339 where it originally dropped from. If it manages to build support and get above there, a push to 387 is possible, but unlikely at the moment with how the market is trading. It is still above the 200 EMA, and that would be my first target around 300. However, where I am personally looking to pick up more BNB would be somewhere between 248 to 220. I think as far as the market goes, things are most likely headed down, and I would look for these lower targets and somewhere in this channel. Let's just have a quick look at the Ichimoku chart. Looking at the daily Ichimoku chart, we see the prices most likely will not be above 350 anytime soon. It's already been rejected by the Kumo cloud twice. So my price targets, if we jump to the 4 hour chart, we see that we're already inside of the Kumo cloud. So I would expect prices to trend down towards where the 200 EMA was, just around 299, where it may find support. However, leading past that in the coming weeks, I could see prices moving down. If not coming weeks, maybe another week or two, if Bitcoin does reach around 30K or below, I would expect BNB to be trading in that lower channel, somewhere between 220 to 240 is where I'd be looking to pick up some BNB. So my price target for the midterm around 299. However, I could see 250 or below for BNB. Anywhere between 220 to 240, I think would be a great spot to pick up some more BNB personally. Looking at the EOS daily chart now, EOS is running into a bit of resistance already around 446, where you can see here it's ran into it a few times, long wicks going down. Even if it manages to get above, there is resistance at 4.9. What is driving this pump where it's all of a sudden since June 22nd attempted to push back towards uptrend zone? I'd imagine unless there is a catalyst, it will most likely be rejected here anyway. The stochastic RSI is high on the daily, but if we come to the 4 hour, it's not that high, and as well as the 1 hour, it's pretty low. So I would not be too surprised to see it attempt to reclaim this resistance around 441, but it still hasn't even quite reached the actual resistance around 446. And if we jump over to the Ichimoku cloud, looking at the daily, we do see quite a bearish setup. Giant Kumo cloud, baseline above the conversion line, but the lagging span is attempting to push in. If we look at the 4 hour as well, you can see the conversion line is above the baseline and the lagging span is back here. So there may be a push in the near future for EOS. Now, I'm not positive about that, but if it does have a push, I would cap that around $5. But what is driving this little bit of a push in the RSI to push back into uptrend zone is a question mark to me. So I will be keeping a close eye on EOS. However, lower price targets in terms of a crash, I wouldn't quite pick some up at 3.6. I do own a bit of EOS. I've been following them for a while. I would personally wait for a larger crash. If EOS is not able to push into these higher price targets, I would just wait for Bitcoin to kind of pull back hard and maybe pick up some EOS around what looks like to be bottom around $3. So price targets for EOS, it'd be interesting to see if it does push above $4. It could make a push to 5. However, if there is a Bitcoin pullback, I'll still be looking to pick up some around $3. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. I hope you found some of this information useful. If there are any charts you want me to look at in the future, leave it in the comments down below. Remember to hit the subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications, and leave a like on this video. If you're not following me on Twitter, Kevin Crates _ extremely active on there. I post charts all throughout the day. Appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm out.